It's sort of a beginner Python project that all the beginners would just love to do because it's like very beginner friendly, and it's basically it's gonna be something like it's gonna be rock paper scissors. We just enter in a guess, and you guess rock. Computer guess scissors. Player one wins. Yeah. So, like for all the beginners out there, I wanted to create a really good project for you guys that you could use. I created this project and I was really proud with myself for coming up with this. That's why. So I'm gonna be working with Sublime Text, and I'm gonna be using kite for complete or enough completion, and just create the file now. And there we go. And let's just start by now. I'm gonna be making this as a sort of a tutorial because this is a pretty simple sort of thing in Python. As you can see, it's not at all something long. It's pretty short. Like you can like easily do this. If you are even a beginner, if you are seeking out of my beginner Python projects, then you should be able to follow along and actually make this game by yourself. Most of it, like there is gonna be some of the places like the randomly generating values of the computer, but you don't really need to worry about all of that. So we're just gonna print out the title. I don't know, it's pretty important. And let's also create a variable called guess and just make it as a input block and just type out and enter in your guess, and let's just make it a little bit neat and just start by printing out guess. I'm gonna be starting out with really basic stuff. I'm just gonna be entering my name just like that. So I'm gonna be starting like with really basic stuff, like what you would expect from a beginner part 1 tutorial, and then we are gonna be making our way up and going our way into the choices thing and this. So actually, I forgot to do this. Actually, it was not needed right now, but just for the sake of the tutorial, we will make a while true loop because we wanna run the game for the complete time. So that's why you guess. And let's just make a plus sign. If we are like a real beginner in Python, I will not suggest like you first watch along some of the the really basic tutorials and then you come over it. Like you just watch through the 4 Python for beginners tutorials and you'll be good to go. So now actually let's just make the computer. So for this, now let's just take it into consideration. What elements does rock paper scissors have? Rock paper scissors has 3 outcomes. Either you choose rock and the computer will choose scissor, then you win. If the computer will choose paper, you lose. If you choose paper, then like that. I think most of you would be knowing this game. And so let's actually create a variable called choices, and it's going to be a list. Now this is pretty important that you make this as a list because, as you know, we are going to be storing multiple values, and like doing it with variable is probably not going to be good. So we are going to be storing in all of our values, which is rock, paper and scissor, because that's what we are going to be, the entire game is based on. So obviously now here's the thing. We want to print out the choices, but we want to randomly print out the choices. So how do we do that? It's pretty simple. let's just create a variable called computer underscore guess equals to random dot choice, and inside of choice actually it's gonna be choices only. And now let me actually tell you what exactly happened. Now if I just go ahead and print out computer guess, let me just tell you what exactly I just rock, you guess rock, and this guy gets paper. Now obviously let's just format it a little bit. Let's just type out the computer guess. What did it do? Test. And that you just format it. What happened? Computer. Oh, I just forgot to put a plus sign over here. And let's just enter rock. And you guess all the computer guesses. So it's even looking more nice. And what I could also do is just enter a backslash and if I want to, but I am not just put it plus sign and backslash in somewhere where I'm not gonna be going to instead. And if you don't know basically what backslash n does, it will just start all of this stuff from a new line. So now here's the thing. We got our guess. We got the computer's guess. Now it's time for the main thing. To determine who exactly won and who exactly lost. So this is gonna involve making a lot and a lot of if statements, because we have to determine every single condition. Let's just look at the number of if statements. 1, 2, 3, or 7 if statements, and just one, and the last, which is the if guess and choices. Basically, it will just check out that if the guess is actually gonna be in the choices thing. So now it's time for the really big if statement. So what we have to do is just type out if guess equals to computer guess. Then what we wanna do is we wanna print out raw. Now because actually let's just try out of possibilities over here. Now let me just tell you something. When you're gonna type out rock, you're gonna be having this completions. And don't put a space, because even a space will count, so then you will not get to operate. Now if you really want to make this super duper accurate, you could also make one with entirely uppercase, one with entirely lowercase, but that will involve more than 20 if statements, and it's gonna be pretty messy. You could also make that rock and space and all of the various ways in which you can type all of that out, but that would be really not complex. It would be really simple, but it would be really mind-boggling to make all of those things. So if guess, now we actually want to check out all the different possibilities. So if guess is equal to we could also just go ahead and make elif. Basically what elif does, it stands for else if, but we don't want to do all of that stuff. So if guess is equal to, let's just make it rock, not this, I can spell that correctly, and let's just make it and computer guess is equal to, let's just make one paper, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna print out then yeah. You can also print out computer lows. What we want if guess equals to rock again. Now basically after this, what exactly I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be making the same if statement, and we're just going to be changing the conditions. I would usually just copy paste this if statement and do stuff like that, but for the sake of this tutorial I thought why not, there's no way, so let's just do it in this way. And let's just get it. Now from here I would suggest that you pause the video or click off the video and just try to do it by yourself. If you cannot do it, come on, I'm there. Basically from here I'm just creating if statements for this. So you can just assume all the possibilities, write them on in paper, and then just implement it in code. And after paper, what else do so actually it should be you lose. let's repeat scissor over here. Scissor. Let's just make paper over here. And let's also just print out use actually let's first print out computer wins. Now I'm just gonna show you a cool trick over here. Basically what you would do is, make a new if statement. What I would recommend you do is make a \n and now let me tell you what exactly will happen. Now I think most of you guys would have thought what exactly gonna happen even if you haven't really taken out. You can see this was my win. Let's just come here. Look, it will print out in the other line, but like that's what I recommend people to do. But I myself sometimes I just find it to make another print statement just to make it look a bit better. Lose, and I'm also going to be making this code easily customizable like one of the other, so you can also implement some sort of a score system in this. Actually, we will try and do that in this video, but I know we will try, but I actually want you to have some sort of a challenge. But I will, if you can do that, don't worry. I think I will cover it in this tutorial if I have enough time, because I have to actually. We will try it. And what else? Now rock is over. Like we took all of the possibilities of it. So now let's move to paper. If guess is equal to paper and the computer guess is gonna be equal to, let's just say, rock, then we can just print out what do we have to print? Oh yeah, you win, yeah. And another if statement. So this program is pretty easy, but really irritating because you have to make all of these if statements. Paper. I think most of you would have understood what I'm doing over here. It's pretty standard. Let's just take scissor into perspective. Scissor. Let's print out computer wins, print out you lose, and again another if statement. Now we have completed rock and we have completed paper. So what else is remaining? I think most of you would have guessed scissor. If guess equals to, I also was gonna copy this from the last finished version, but we just typed it all out. And what will it be? Let's make it in rock. Actually, let's just make it paper first. Now I'm gonna end up format. Like the first outcome is always gonna be win situation, and the second is gonna be lose. It doesn't really matter, but I just like to do it in this way. That's it. You win, yay! And I think this is gonna be the last statement. Yeah, it's gonna be the last if statement. So if you I try and implement scores in this also, but I think this was in this tutorial. I will see, or else I will keep it a challenge for you guys, because I always want you guys to also try it out yourself, and so you guys are not just stuck in the tutorial and just follow along with the tutorials. That's it. Then you actually finish this computer wins, and just remember, if I can spell that correctly, print out you lose, Now, actually, let's just review. Yeah, there we go. We actually have the game ready. I'll go ahead, just play guesses. There. Now, if you are thinking that actually, it's not that, it's just that I'm winning. No, it's not like that. We have a draw over here. So that's literally how it works. Just a second, guys. Just a second. So for that small break, basically I was just trying to see if this code is working. Yeah, it's working. So I have to see. I think I'm gonna keep it as a challenge for you guys, but I'm gonna be showing you what exactly it is gonna be, and I'm also gonna be sharing the source code in the description. So don't worry if your code does not work. And I'm just gonna type this thing over here, and then let me just explain what to do. Now, most of you would have figured out by now how you could create it with these code. I really appreciate that if you could do that. If you couldn't, don't worry. Don't consider yourself as bad and stuff. But I would really recommend that you try and implement this code by yourself, because it's not something really difficult. It's pretty simple. So basically what I've done is I've just created this variable called score. And what I did was, every time we guessed, if it was a draw, what I did was just did nothing. What happened? Oh, what happened? And what happened is, if we have a draw, then nothing's gonna happen to the score. But if we win, then the score's gonna be back to 1. And it's basically like that. Every time I'm gonna be winning, I'm just gonna print the score and like that. And so you just want to see. Print score. Now I could also just go ahead and like a if statement over, if score equals to like, let's say 30, like just going to print like you win and like that something. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it as a challenge for you guys. So what else I'm gonna be just doing is just making some comments here and there. Just look what just happened. It's just possibilities. I'm 90% sure I spelled that incorrectly, but I'm not a really good spelling. I don't spell really good. And let's just go and make a variables, and that should be it. So literally that's all. That's your first, I would say, console game. I think it's pretty cool actually, that how what you can create, and it's so simple. Like literally, whoever knows the random module, which exactly I don't call it as a module because it has very few functions. Like whoever knows the random module literally will be able to make this, because I'm expecting whoever knows the random module also knows at least the basic if statements of Python and all the stuff. So literally all we have used is like one module, that's the random module. We have used literally a print statement, a while loop, and a list. These are the elements we have used. So like then we have used variables and if statements. Literally that's literally all. Like if you go ahead and just look at some of the complicated games, look at all of the stuff you require to make these stuff, and or else you can just just watch that easy stuff if you are a beginner, because usually what beginners tend to do is go into all of those really complicated projects and then they think that, oh my god, we don't know anything. So this is like a good first, I would say, actual sort of game for you. Like otherwise you would have created all of those Mad Libs and stuff. But like this is gonna be like actually a first game which you can actually play with your friend and then tell you like, okay, so what your score is. Actually, let's just do one last thing. Let's just find out current score is. I just wanted to add that little touch. What happened? Oh, forgot the plus signs. I don't know why I always tend to forget these plus signs. What happened? Oh yeah, the score is again, so it won't work. But it's okay. It's okay. I can also want to do something like current. You can do it like that. Like you can just customize this thing any way you want. Like that's the beauty of this, code. And if you write some really beautiful code, you can customize it. Like I could just come here and make like a ton of if statements, and I could literally put it in a nice little visually pleasing GUI, and I could literally just publish it for PC. Obviously, it won't work because it's not a plain pixels on PC, but still, you could do that. So, I would encourage you that you really, modify this code. And if you cannot, make this code, like you are stuck on some part of this code, then I would suggest that you go ahead, and I'm actually gonna be having the source code of this code in the description below, or you can just mess around with it and try to get it right. And I'm sure you guys will eventually get it right. And that's what I would really encourage you to do instead of just checking out your source code. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And until the next time we meet, bye bye.